I'm John Davids with Influicity. Today we're going to talk what it takes to become an influencer and a blogger in 2017. This is Under the Influence. Tell me about Do the Daniel.
So Do the Daniel is a lifestyle blog. Originally launched, we tried to do food and wine. Quickly realized, coming from a marketing background, that lifestyle was a little bit more approachable. So we are going to be 4 years old in January, having a lot of fun, building our team around the world. Now we operate in 4 countries and 3 languages with 12 staff members.
What's your process for running a company like this?
So ideally, our content is going to be centered around good people, good experiences, good food. That's really what it's all about. So we try to bring in experts in certain fields. So we have a contributor in Mexico who talks about tourism in Mexico. We have a holistic nutritionist who takes lead on all things health and wellness. And then we have a music journalist, and we have an intern, and we have a little bit of everything going on the site. So it's a lot of fun. But it's all about sort of that lifestyle perspective. So we work with great brands and great partners who really want to showcase what they're all about, and we tailor it to our voice, which ultimately is to our audience.
Give me a day in your life.
It's ever changing. So I try and keep myself on a pretty tight schedule because we are in demand and we have a lot of team members now. So I wake up at 6 in the morning, I work out with my trainer, I walk my dog, then I sit down in the office, I do emails for about 3 hours, I'll do meetings for another 3, and then I reserve the nights for events and for partnerships.
Let's talk dollars. How do you guys make money?
I mean, nobody really likes to talk nickel and dimes, but there is money out there to be creating content for brands that's non-conventional. So that's sort of where the blogger comes in. The ideal is that we sit down with a brand partner that we love. We say, here's what we can offer. I mean, we're doing 2.5 million hits a month right now on Do the Daniel, which is a lot. And people really want that audience. So they want to try and get to that audience and showcase what their brand's all about. So I'm able to negotiate a fee for what that looks like. We can tailor social media, we can tailor blog posts, but there's a lot of money to be made in this industry if you know how to do it properly.
You obviously work with a lot of brands. How do you make sure that a brand fits with your message?
You know what, at the beginning, when you reach a certain level of achievement, I think you get to realize that you want to say yes to everything. It's nice to have money thrown at you to try and create content under your voice. But I mean, one lesson I had to learn the hard way was taking on more than I could accommodate. And then you start falling behind on deadlines, and it's difficult to catch up. Whereas now we have a very set structure. We know how many clients we can take on a month. We know how many staff can allocate stories to. And it just allows us to be a little bit more structured. And so far as brand partnerships, they're going to come and go. And that's sort of the nature of the industry. I have great partners right now that we're working with, and I have partners that we've worked with in the past. I always wish people the best. Sometimes you just aren't a fit. And it goes both ways. Sometimes a brand really wants to work with us and it just doesn't make any sense. So we sort of move on and we wish them well and they wish us well, and on to the next chapter.
How are you using social media to build your brand?
You know what? Twitter is great for engagement. I know a lot of people are kind of poo-pooing on Twitter these days. I love it. We have a great following on Twitter. Facebook is still going to be the strongest outlet for me. When it comes to ad spends, I can target down to a 19-year-old living on the West Coast who likes the color green if I want to. And I think they're my strongest social media of all. Instagram's a lot of fun. I don't know where Instagram's going to be. That's the thing. And in this industry right now, there's influencers, there's content creators, there's bloggers. We all have different titles. But I never rely wholly on one social media because I know that they're apt to change very quickly.
What are you guys doing with Snapchat?
I loved it. It was a lot of fun. We actually had our team rotating through our Snapchat account. So it would be in London one day, it'd be in Los Angeles the next, in Playa del Carmen. And we just noticed when Instagram stories launched, our engagement dropped like crazy, but our engagement increased on Instagram stories. So I had to listen to what our audience wanted, and we're done. We're done with Snapchat.
A lot of brands get confused with the terminology. So what's the difference between an influencer, a content creator, a blogger?
You know what? I think everybody's got sort of a hot term that they use. Blogger was the term a few years ago. Then it was influencer. Now content creators being thrown around. I think it all depends on what you do best. If you are a YouTuber, you're a YouTuber. If you are an influencer on social media, chances are you probably have a strong Instagram following. I think at the end of the day, I love the term blogger. I don't see anything negative about it. It's my strong suit. It is where the majority of my audience goes to learn about what we're doing and keep up with us.
You yourself are a big influencer. You've got 13,000 followers on Instagram. How have you used your influence to build your company?
For me, that's the importance of my team. It's always about putting them forward, supporting them, helping grow their own influence as well. And people know our hashtag by now. So if you see Do the Daniel on something, chances are it's probably going to be pretty entertaining and they're going to want to follow along for the journey.
Thanks you guys for tuning in. Make sure to follow us across social at Influicity on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. We'll see you there and we'll see you next time.